Cheers to a new day. This is the last of the November 2025 series of Midweek Reset. Whenever you're seeing this, it is a joy to have you here. My name is Elena Ayo. I am a life and design strategist, and I support heart-centered professionals and organizations with creating the best human-centered experiences that they could possibly have. This is the celebration episode, so it's going to be some nice lighthearted vibes and of course doing a brief review over everything that I've covered. So this is, I guess, for those folks that haven't watched anything in my series and they're just like, I want the cliff notes. And I do have like a core message for tonight as well. So, to get us started, we are going to start with a meditation tonight. And so, allow yourself to get comfortable in a seated position. And tonight, we're going to be doing a luscious body scan. And so, allow yourself to roll your shoulders back a few times. And now, we're going to stretch our head to the side, down to the middle, and to the other side and to the back, to the side, to the middle, down to the other side, and then back. And put your head upright. And now take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale completely out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale completely out the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. And now breathe at a comfortable pace, in and out the nose as much as possible. Gently close your eyes, and we're going to start at the top of our head and scan down. First step is to be aware of what we are sensing, and then we can adjust, stretch, and move as needed. And then the third step will be to relax that part of the body. So, starting with our head, first be aware, sense, and feel. And now adjust and stretch. Maybe you need to stretch out your jaw. And now relax your face. Now to your neck. Be aware. And now stretch your neck. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's some yawns. Maybe there's some popping. And now relax your neck. Now be aware of your shoulders. Now stretch and move your shoulders as needed. Maybe there's a stretch in your upper back. And now relax your shoulders. Be aware of your midsection and your lower back. And now stretch and move your lower back and your midsection. If you're seated, you could do a gentle cat-cow, arching your back and then curving it, arching your back and curving it. And now relax and come back to a neutral, centered position. Be aware of your hips. And now stretch and move your hips as needed. You may want to do the cat-cow again, or you may want to use your hands and squeeze, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And now relax. Now we're to our thighs. Be aware. And now either stretch your thighs or leverage your hands and squeeze your thighs, engaging them, giving yourself a gentle massage. It's one of your largest muscle groups on the body. So it's really important to engage your thighs and stretch daily. And now relax. Now we have the knees. Be aware of your knees. And now stretch or massage your knees with your hands. You can either stretch your legs out or use your hands to give your knees a little extra love. They do so much wonderful work helping to support you, supporting you when you run, when you jump, when you walk. And now relax and be aware of your knees again. Now your calves, be aware. And now stretch your calves or massage them, whatever feels most supportive for you. And now relax. Be aware of your ankles. And now stretch them, or you can massage them with your hands. You can flex the foot, taking turns flexing each foot, or move them around in a circle. And now relax and be present. And finally, the foot, be aware of your foot. And now stretch the foot. Maybe you curl your toes. Squeezing and releasing, flexing, activating that foot. And you can choose to use your hands as well if you'd like. And now relax your foot back down and allow yourself to be very present with your entire body. And with each exhale out of your nose, allow yourself to sink further down. You can stay present by focusing on your breath. If a thought comes to mind, just be aware of the thought. Ah, that was a thought. No judgment, and return your focus back to your breath. A gentle inhale through the nose and exhale out the nose. Now take a deep inhale through the nose. Complete exhale out the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose. Complete exhale out the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose. And complete exhale out the mouth. Gently stretch and move your body to bring it back to a more wakeful state. You can open your eyes when you are ready. Hmm. I hope that meditation and stretch felt delicious and supportive and everything that your body needed. We move and meditate to get ourselves settled in and to kind of close the tabs of the day and get us settled in into our time here. So, once again, welcome to the Midweek Reset. I am Elena Io, and I am not just a life and design strategist, I'm also the author of this journal, Relax and Remix. Relax and Remix is here to support you with your journey into purposeful pauses, deeper relaxation, and setting intentions and being mindful with your prayer life. So, check out my journal if that feels like something that you need in this season, whether it's to help you get unstuck or to help you create a little bit more structure for yourself through rituals. This could be the journal that really sets you up for a beautiful new year. And so I'm going to get us started with a review of some of the things that we have talked about throughout the series. And my theme for the lens at which I'm sharing everything will be through the theme of you will always have problems. You have to learn how to enjoy your life while you're solving them and also develop strategies to support yourself in sustainably solving them. So, two parts, all right? So, Yes, it doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter what role you have in a family or organization, there will always be some type of problem because it's not really a problem. As Eckhart Tolle would say, it is a situation that you're in. And as I will say, it is a challenge. It is a situation that requires you to become someone new. We cannot stay the people that we were once before inside of the reality that we are creating for ourselves. We're constantly co-creating with God, no matter what we are doing, we are co-creating. So you can be co-creating love and things aligned with love. Or you could be creating things that need love. They have a call for love. I'm very much in the house of not saying that something is right or wrong, very much in the house of saying if something is harming or non-harming, and also the house of is it love or is it something that is calling for more love? So if you are feeling like you need more love and more balance, especially when you think about your future and fulfillment, this is the space for you. So we're going to hop over into our doc. It is inside of the description. And this document takes you through all of the weeks that we have done together so far. And so the main mantra has been stop worrying and start building, and the focus has been on future and fulfillment. The series for since October 29th has been focused on understanding what these different strategic levers are in our life. We have moved through frictionless flow and focused on efficiency. We talked about the sanctuary of attention and focused on our energy and our mindset. And last episode, we talked about the compass and the map, talking about clarity and vision. And now with this celebration, it's very much about relationships and networking. And so, to get us started, a brief overview of the keys to evolution. So, the keys to evolution is a framework that I created based off of design thinking. I've been working in tech for the last 10 years. And inside of this framework, I break down what we are doing to create our new reality with intention. The first step is to engage, asking more questions of yourself, asking more questions and being aware and observing what is happening to you. So, this could be observing your own patterns and behaviors, your thoughts and your feelings. And then that information can be leveraged for creating experiments. Maybe there's different things that you're interested in experimenting and trying so that that can become your new baseline experience. So this is maybe talking to people that have done similar things. Interviews and conversations is a form of prototyping, and then just trying something new. Maybe deciding to wake up a little while earlier, taking a different drive to work. These are all different ways to get yourself to think a little bit different. It's usually a behavior shift, and then you can take notice of the emotional shift that is happening on the inside for if there's any data, any information, or any behavior that you want to bring into your new reality. And that's when you get to that point of enjoying your experiment, that's when you choose the behaviors and the mindsets to bring into your evolution. And so, as I stated before, there are six levers. And so, the why is your clarity and your vision. And so, your vision and your clarity, these are the things that are pulling you forward in action, in momentum. Your fuel to move that you use to move forward, that's your energy and your mindset. So, your internal state where you are focused. These are things that help to build up your resilience when you're mindful with your energetic state and you're mindful with your thoughts. Now, your efficiency, how well these things are repeated, your behaviors, that's inside of your system and your processes. And so, having repeatable routines and habits to get the results that you desire, this is key. This is important. And then you have your resources and tools. So, your resources and tools are all assets. They are things that you can leverage your time, your money, your skills, technology. You can use this while you're running your systems and your processes, and the way you choose to invest into these assets will impact your return on investment. And then we have your relationships and network. And so your relationships and network is one of the core things we're talking about today. This is your connection, the people that exist in your ecosystem. It's important to remember that we can go so much further together. And so that's why it's important to remind ourselves that it's a group sport. It's not an individual sport. And then finally, the velocity. And so those small actions that you're taking, leveraging your mindset and your behaviors, this creates a velocity over time, consistent aligned motion. I did this series as part of my own practice for creating more action and momentum, for creating a velocity for myself. And so I now know that weekly I can record a video for YouTube. And in the future, even after the series is over, please subscribe to Infold Studios on YouTube because I will be releasing a meditation or a lesson each week. They're not going to be sandwiched how these were. This was a very specific practice, and maybe it will come back again. But I will have them as separate videos in the future. What I love about this is that I could record a meditation and I can record a lesson, and I can now for sure have a cadence of weekly releasing a new video. And I know that it is obtainable and manageable because I've just done it for the last 5 weeks. And so that's an example of what it looks like to mindfully apply the knowledge of these levers and put it into practice. So you can look through these notes if you'd like to learn more about the exercises. Um, we are in week 5 now. If you are watching this in 2025 in November, happy Thanksgiving. You are in a beautiful time of year because we're talking about what we're being grateful for. We're connecting with friends and family, and I really hope that you are able to connect with the people that you care about. And so there's two things we're focused on today. I meant to say two, not just one. The connection lever, so relationships and network, and as I shared, the actions and the momentum, that velocity lever. And so when we take into mind, and I'll type in that quote that I mentioned at the top of the call. Um, I'll type that in. So this is a reminder, the situation we are in, um, the situation that is uncomfortable, aka the problem, the problems, will not go away. There, there will always be something that we have discomfort in. And that is because we're continuously on an evolution journey. As I said before, we're going to be learning things, we will be trying new things, and then dropping what doesn't serve us and keeping what does. And so this is because we are always growing. Growing will not stop, but we do have two choices. We do have two choices. We can so how we respond is one choice. And let's just say we'll start with the strategy. So when we are choosing to respond, that requires two things. It requires us to be aware of what we are feeling and thinking, because we have to either stay in that mindset if it is aligned with what we want to create, and if it's not aligned, um not aligned with what we want to create. So, in our last session, we talked a lot about the values and our vision. So, if it's not aligned with reciprocity and wonder and love for me, I have to take the time and be thoughtful about the strategy that I want to use to get out of that behavior, that cycle, that pattern. So, um, think about what lever you can use to get out of the pattern. And so this is for if it's not aligned with what we want to create. I'll put that together for simplicity. And so going back to the levers here at the top. So let's say, because I'll just speak for myself, I was recently angry. I was, there was a job I really thought that I was a great fit for, and I didn't even get an interview. I had a referral, didn't even get an interview, and I was quite upset about it. And so I can choose to either connect back with my why. I can choose to do exercises to shift my energy and my mindset. So, whether it's feeling through the emotion, getting to a place of calm, and then connecting back with that love, reciprocity that I'm interested in creating and creating a new story, a new mindset. Maybe there's something in my systems and processes, there's something in my routine, in my habits that I can shift and change. So maybe that's the morning routine or the evening routine, or maybe there's a practice that I do after in the ways that I'm applying for jobs and the ways that I am engaging with people. I can choose to leverage my tools and resources differently. So let's say I had, some extra money on the side, I could get a career coach. There's different things that we can use to increase our return on investment. And then we have relationships and networks. So I have people in my ecosystem that I can talk to and connect with that help me process things. And there's very specific friends for that. It's really important that you identify that. And then we have the velocity. So we're going to focus on these two because I said today that's going to be our core focus for today. So you can choose any of these strategies, but the strategies that we're going to focus on using are these two. Um, and so the way that you can leverage your your connections, um, how you can use them to shift, is that you can have like, candid conversations and get like real feedback. You can get recommendations and guidance, especially if they're older friends. If you don't have a mentor, please get a mentor. So this is mentorship. Um, and you can leverage your network quite directly. Like if I'm feeling really angry about something and I'm gonna feel through that, and I'm like, because it could be after you've shifted your emotion that it comes to you, this is what's for me to do next. So maybe it's actually leveraging your network for another connection, a new effort. So new opportunities. It could just be we're going to volunteer together. And that's a new opportunity. You're opening yourself up to meeting new people and doing new things. So now on the stage, in the place of action in momentum, um, so, as I said before, this is about consistent, aligned motion and the ways that you can use this after you shift. I think it'll be most supportive to talk about this for like after you shift. Use them after you shift because it's kind of like step one and now step two. So after you shift, the way that you can leverage your actions is by anchoring your morning and evening in consistent um, rituals, or you can call them practices that ground you in your vision emotions. And so we talked about vision emotions once again last time. Or so it's either the values that you live or the vision you want to live. Um, and so I'm going to say your vision, desired emotions, or your values. So having behaviors daily that align with your values will help to support them. And so I'll show a few examples. So as far as reciprocity, maybe there's little actions. So for myself, an action that I take is that I have a few core friends that I connect with consistently. So I connect with high vibrational people. And I'll be honest, the people that aren't as high vibrational or I'm not as interested in connecting with them, I don't connect with them as often. I believe it said that like the five people around you are the people or you spend the most time with. They really start to define who you are. And so allowing yourself to be very conscious about how you're taking small actions, whether that's through voice notes or hanging out, etc. These are all actions that are a part of your velocity. So if you're spending time doing things that aren't aligned to what you're interested in creating in your vision, and you're doing it with people that you like, your velocity towards the things that you don't want will increase. Does that make sense? Put it in the comments if part of this doesn't make sense. Um, but what's really powerful is that when you realize that, you can flip it and do it in the opposite direction. You can spend more time with people that inspire you, that light you up. You can do more behaviors that align with those people, and that is going to push you into the direction that you desire. Now let's look at wonder, okay? So, wonder for myself, because once again, these are the values that I've chosen for myself, and you're going to do this exercise in a moment. So, let me name this out as we'll call this our main activity for today. Um, oh yeah, we have two activities. So, respond, and I'm just going to call this the main activity. So this is activity one. Activity one is list out your top 2 to 3 values and note how you can take small actions to enhance their presence in your life. So for this is my example. So for me, I have reciprocity, and the way that I can do it in small ways is sending voice notes and hanging out with my friends. The ways that I can have more wonder is that I can take myself on artist dates. Have you read The Artist Way? So in that book, um, there's this thing called artist dates, or I can spend time in nature. And like being consistent with it. Once again, these small actions consistently will increase momentum that will increase not just our motion towards the thing, but it's almost like, as I said before, we're becoming that person. We're becoming the person that just naturally attracts the opportunity or becomes the one that's chosen, or the person that makes the thing. And then for love, it's the for me, I'm choosing it's the way that I talk to myself, the way I talk to myself. So the way that I talk to myself, I'm choosing for that to be my focus because I have a lot of control over that. And so these are different ways that I can experience these values, but I'm making them very accessible. And so these are the top 3 things. So just the goal is to have 2 to 3 things that you're going to do. For me, my 3 things is going to be connecting with high vibrational people, I am, I'm gonna spend more time. I'm going back and forth. Is it artist dates or spending more time in nature? Because I said I only want to choose three um, in your life, and then choose three actions to do consistently. All right, so I'm choosing to connect with high vibrational people. I'm leaving that one open. You know, you can have it as broad as you need to. And you know what? Artist dates can include spending time in nature. So I'm going to say artist dates because it was the very first thing that came to mind. And this is a way of trusting our intuition. And then the way I talk, like, I'm gonna rephrase this, talk to myself, um, with love. And, and I'm gonna say when I wake up and before I go to sleep. You know, some people, they greet their loved one when they wake up and they give them a kiss goodnight. It's like doing this with myself, allowing myself to love on myself when I wake up and love on myself before I go to sleep. So those are my three things. If you're open to sharing what your three things are, feel free to put that in the comments. But make sure that you take a bit of time after watching this, or you did it with me, and you write down the three things, the three actions. And so now, remember, we have the strategy that we'll use as a way to move through discomfort. And then the other thing is just to find your way to fun. Let me make sure, let me double check on the way, on the thing that I wrote. It says, learn to enjoy your life while you're solving your problems. Learn to enjoy your life while you are solving your problems. And for the people that don't like problems, the other way that, like, as a word, maybe you have a different vernacular. So another way to say this is learn to enjoy your life while you are experiencing, oops, experiencing discomfort during situations. And so this right here is a choice. Okay. So I'm just like restructuring this a bit. Um, choose your, choose joy. And I actually hand out stickers to people when I meet them that say choose joy. So choose your joy. That is the second big takeaway. So whether you have to take on doing something that you might not be interested in doing, or there's something you're doing that's quite challenging, choose your joy. Like maybe the thing you're doing isn't what you're interested in, but you can find joy nonetheless. Maybe the thing you're doing is not completely aligned with, like, you feel great about it, but maybe like in James Clear book Atomic Habits talks about habit stacking, maybe you do something that brings you joy before you do the thing. There's many ways to bring joy into your life. Just be mindful that staying in dissatisfaction and not allowing yourself to find that joy. Because remember, we engage, so maybe being curious could be a way to get closer to joy, or we enjoy, we prototype, maybe trying some new things, or just flat out evolving. There's something maybe that you need to be doing differently that you will allow yourself to do. And so find the joy, do something, feel something, think something, just be very intentional about all of the things. I hope that this has been a supportive video for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, let the celebration continue. And yes, love yourself all along the way. Be well. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.